What are you doing? Don't scratch your nose on the desk, babe. Don't scratch your nose on the desk. Laverne. You ding dong. I never remember how to do this anymore. More options. That's not right. Why can I not share this to a group? Damn it. I don't remember how to do this. Hi guys, I see some of you are in the room. Hey Stephen Davidson Olson, how are you? I cannot figure out how to share anymore. I'm so bad at this, guys. Right post? Oh, share to group? There we go. Alright. Sorry, 1 second. I'm just sharing this out to the Angle Guys group to let them know that I'm on. Let's turn that off. We don't want to hear me twice. How are you guys? I'm a little unshaven, a little scruffy. Hey, Tina Charlie, how are you, dear? I've been kind of just sort of laying low and staying at home, watching all the craziness unfold on the news. Um, I have to say this, I'm relieved that that's over, or it's not over yet by any means, but at least that whole part of the wait is like sort of over. So, hey Sharon Hazel, how are you? Um, that's a relief. That part is definitely a relief. I'm just tired of looking at it and paying attention to it. I don't want to pay attention to it at this point. I'm just sort of like, okay, I need a break. Mommy needs a nap kind of thing. So, how are you guys? Hey, Lorraine Campbell McDonald, how are you? That's not right. That's not gonna work. Shit. Oh, I've got to like move all this stuff and change it. Is there a way to do this in a different way? There's gotta be. Let me try this again. Just sharing this out to a couple of groups just to see who comes in. Let's share it there. Why not? We'll share it. What the heck is Lightworkers live feeds? Because that's always a fun one to share too. There we go. Alright. I'm good, Sharon. I was just saying that I'm kind of like relieved that sort of all of that news stuff is sort of, it seems like it feels like it's a quiet period after all that craziness of the last 3 days. So I feel better. You know, it's still up for debate and all of that sort of stuff. I don't really feel like debating anything right now, but you know, there's certainly discussions and a lot of people have a lot of feelings around it. So but I'm good other than that. Tallulah, can you stop? Can you leave him be? The dog threw up in the bed today. That's an exciting moment that happened today. Can you stop and leave him be? Thank you. He's not feeling well. That's why she's licking his face, I think. He just woke up from a nap. We were all laying on the bed. I was reading. It was all like peaceful and quiet. He just stood up and he barfed all over all over the comforter. So I'm doing laundry. And I just was kind of a little bit, I don't know, not bored, but like maybe a little restless. So I thought I would get on and do charm divination stuff early today. It's Sunday the 8th, which you guys probably know that. I don't need to tell you guys that, but it is Sunday the 8th. So I try and get on every Sunday to do charm divination. If anybody wants a charming, they certainly can get one. Let me see. Let me see if I can put in from my email via my phone. Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Did I just do that? I don't even know what I just did. Hold on. I have no idea what I'm doing. If anybody wants to buy a charming, they're $25. I'm finding the link in my email so that I can pop it into the discussion, into the chat. Let me see here. Let me copy that. Copy link. Boom chicka boom. Boom chicka wow wow. Let me put in. I don't need to tell you guys that. And this Sunday the 8th, so wow. I tried every Sunday to do. Nobody wants to hear her. All right, did that go in? Okay, so there's a link in there that I just posted if anybody wants to purchase a charming. They're $25, and we can charm whatever subject you would like. For those of you that are, I am so cool. Hey, Mary Clinton, how are you? Um, if there are, I can charm any subject you would like. God, I'm a little bit sidetracked. Or I can, maybe I'll do some free coin pulls for some people in between if we don't have any charmers that show up. How does that sound like? That might be fun. I also got on earlier today because I tried to get on yesterday and I felt inspired to get on, and when I got on, my whole internet sort of, it didn't tank, but it kind of got all funky and weird and I couldn't get the chat up, so I just gave up. So I thought I'd try it earlier today and see what happens. My hair is like, I took a shower this morning, so it's really fluffy and weird. It's like a little too clean. My hair's so like fine that when it gets too clean, it like looks poofy to me. It's weird. Mary Clinton, it was your birthday, the 16th. Happy birthday. Happy Scorpio season to you, Mary. Would you like me to throw some coins for you, just for your birthday present, Mary Clinton? Would you like that? Happy birthday. I always look so sharp. Oh, listen to Lynn Graham. She is like, she doesn't know who she's talking to. Look at this. This is not sharp. There's nothing sharp about this. This is like rough as far as I'm concerned. I can look sharper. Let's just say that. This is not me looking sharp. This is me looking ghosted, let's say. But yeah, so yes, says Mary Clinton. Okay, so let me switch cameras and we're gonna do, hey, from South Africa. Hi, Rachel Bester. How are you? So let me change cameras so you guys can see the little charm board. And this is not a charming, guys, for those of you that are new or that are coming in from other groups that I posted to. This is just me using coins of the tarot. This little coins in a bag that represent all of the different tarot cards in a deck. There's 78 of them. On my YouTube channel, I did do a video of these. They were a crowdfunded project by an artist called Arthur Pitsley, was his name. And I want to say Zenacast or Zencast, something like that, was the people that cast the coins. And so they're fun and I'm still playing with them. This bag did not come with them, just so you know. I put them in this bag. This bag was a gift from something else, but I was what is it, pendulum that was in this bag I'm using elsewhere. So, all right, California Charlotte. Okay. Birthday week, biatches. Mary Clinton says yes. Okay, fierce. All right, so welcome. Sharon Hazel says new to this. Welcome, Sharon Hazel. If you guys share out the stream, I greatly appreciate it. Share it to any groups where it would be appreciated. That also helps to build the audience. If you'd like, I mean, I would like it if you would, because it's sort of like an energy exchange if I'm giving out free coin readings and stuff. Charmings, like I said, they're available to you. You're gonna see when I flip the camera. I'll show you with my hands like Vanna White. Well, let me flip the camera. Okay, so for those of you that are from South Africa, I hope you know who Vanna White is. You may not, but Vanna White is a TV personality on a game show that's been on for ages here in the US. I almost said the UK. I wish I lived in the UK right about now. Anyways, this is the charm box. It's filled with all sorts of little bits and bobs, as they say in the UK. And I throw them on this board and tell you a little story about whatever I read as far as the energy and things like that. But right now, what I'm going to do is, since nobody's purchasing charmings, I will just do some cards for the birthday girl, Mary Clinton. Not cards, coins. And so, Mary, do you have a, like a subject matter, or do you just want me to do just general? You tell me, since it's your birthday. And I'm just going to get fond of my bag of coins. Oh, it's 222, guys. Yay. Thank you for sharing, Mary. I appreciate that. So if you want to let me know what you want me to look at, or if you just want a general, then I'll just see what I feel like is the coins are trying to tell me. Ooh, one just jumped out, Carl. What's it trying to say? Let's see what coin this is. What coin is this? Oh shit, it's the death coin. Hi, Laura Martin. How are you, dear? Death just jumped out of the bag and landed at my feet. It was inverted though, so I'm not too worried. All right, let's see what's abundance and hard work paying off. Okay, you want me to read that? Awesome. 2222 over with Rachel Bester. That's awesome. All right. So it must be late there then, because isn't 22, isn't that like if it's a 24-hour period, that must be really late in the night, is it not? Am I wrong about that? All right. So let's see. What does Mary Cleveland need to know? Okay, let's throw one. Let's throw two. And let's throw three. All right, so we have, let's look here. Interesting. I don't like, hold on, what's going on here? I'm gonna try and fix this. This used to sit better. That's better. That's flatter. Okay, perfect. I hope you guys can see the board. It will be flipped to you because I don't know how to flip the camera back, and I think this was right about here. So what I am going to say, Mary, is what I see just right off the bat with these coins is it feels like there's a pull going on within you, right? And this is the Queen of Cups. I'm sorry. This is the Queen of Cups. This is the bigger Imperial Butter hat. So this represents as the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is always like the representational of our emotions, but because it's the Queen, she's cups upon cups, right? So it's very emotional center. I imagine that, Mary, you probably listen a lot to your emotions. We do know that your birthday is this week, which makes you a Scorpio, which is also going to add to that emotionality and that connection to the water element, right? The emotions and also the water signs can be extremely psychic, right? We can be extremely tuned in, sometimes empathic, that sort of a thing. We have this page of wands down here in the subconscious, and wands to me is about taking action and desire, right? As a rule, it's like sort of the suit of inspiration, spirit, fire, like all of those things. Desire, the thing that we're like actively chasing, it can represent that. It can represent sort of taking steps towards action, taking action towards a desire or that sort of a thing. When we have a page, though, a page is usually, even though it's a court, part of the court, right? It usually signifies sort of a younger attitude or a space where there's room to learn, right? So when I look at these two upright, to me, this feels like not necessarily a conflict, but maybe a push and pull. And I feel like it might be within you a little bit, where you tend to listen to your emotions in your day-to-day world quite a bit, but there's something that's pulling at you, maybe from a more subconscious place, something in regards to desire. I get a feeling that there might be some fear around said desire. It could be, and then when I say desire, we're talking about anything that we are looking at and we're in want of, right? So this could be a romantic situation, this could be a career goal, but whatever it is, to me, I feel like there might be some trepidation around it or some nerves around it. And it's not that it's a bad thing. What I think is that it's this page energy feels like maybe we don't necessarily feel fully confident about how to go about getting it, obtaining it, making it happen for us. We're considering it. We certainly want it. The desire is there because this coin is up, right? But our Queen of Cups, right, is this emotional center. She's in charge. She's upright. She's facing, to me, she's like right in line. So emotionally, I feel like we feel good. We feel in control, but we also want to protect that, right? And I think that's sort of where I feel this rub or this pull is that we might be in a place right now where we're feeling okay. Why rock the boat is almost the message that I'm getting from these two coins. Like, even though we may want something or we have a desire for something new, there's something that inspires us that we may want to go after or chase after, but how do we quite get it? What steps do we take? These might be some of the questions that might be lingering in the back of your mind. What if I mess it up? What if I don't achieve it? What if I do achieve it? Then what do I do? It's all of those sort of things that are brewing underneath the surface. So I think that there's this conflict happening within yourself, maybe, that is, not even maybe, I mean, within yourself is what I'm feeling, that is, do we really want to run the risk of sort of uprooting, feeling centered and good for something new that challenges us in a way that maybe we haven't been challenged yet before? That's kind of where I feel like you might be at right now, or at least recently, right? In the recent moments, like let's say in the last few months, maybe we've been looking at making some changes. But things aren't totally bad right now, right? This Queen of Cups to me speaks to this idea that like we feel kind of good, like we can control stuff, we're in charge, we're in authority, we're feeling our feelings, we're processing our information, everything's okay. But this page down here to me feels like he's like, yeah, but what about this? What about this? And he's like tugging at her dress is kind of the feeling I get, right? And so to me, and I do want to say this. I think that when these two come together, they could be really magical, right? I do think that pages also bring that opportunity not only to learn, but they bring that opportunity to sort of explore, get excited again, feel reinvigorated about life. Because when we get into that page energy, it can be very exhilarating because it's so unknown and because it's so new. And it's really how we relate to that energy that is going to be sort of how we experience it. For some of us, we might experience it feeling very inexperienced and spooked or scared, but we'll go through it. We'll still learn the lessons. It may just take a little longer or be more of a struggle. But for those of us that sort of embrace that energy and just challenge ourselves and muster up, we're usually fine, is kind of the feeling I get, right? It's not, Mary saying that damn page. It's not a bad thing. I just think he's bubbling up out of the subconscious to me. There's some sort of something that, it's not that it's missing, but there's something more that you want, or it's got kind of that feeling to me, okay? Now, we've got this third coin up here, which is flipped over, right? We can't see it, we're looking at the back. And usually when these are on the board, I always say that these kind of represent maybe things that are at play in the background or things we're not aware of, but the power or the energy of that coin is still there, right? So we're gonna flip it over and find out what it is to find out what the message is. So let's see. Okay, so we've got the Five of Cups. Now, the Five of Cups usually signifies some sort of a disappointment, right? A traditional tarot, the picture is a man sort of standing by a river, and he has 3 cups in front of him that are spilt, and 2 cups behind him that are full. And what the gig, or like the main image, part of the image of the Five of Cups is about sort of, there is a mourning and a sadness to it, right? But it's like you're looking at, or your focus kind of tends to be maybe in the wrong area, because the man has his back turned to what he does have, which are the 2 full cups. He also is kind of not seeing that the river's right there. He can fill up the 3 cups that spilled at any point in time. So when you look at the metaphor of, like, say, the river of life, this page that wants to fill up new cups certainly can. This queen is like, well, wait a second, I don't want my cups messed with. So what I feel like this is, and also it's inverted, right? It's upside down. What I feel like this is yes, there is that part where we might be looking at the wrong stuff, or we're allowing, because this was flipped over like this, right? What I'm going to say this means to me, how I would interpret this, is that in the background of our mind might be memories of things where situations have gone wrong, right? Where we've been let down, where we've been hurt, where maybe things didn't work out quite the way we planned them, right? And so I think that that might be some of the struggle. Some of those memories might dictate some of the struggle or a push-pull that we have here. I don't even want to say struggle or conflict, because I feel like these two want to work together. It's a matter of finessing that out, right? It's a matter of feeling safe enough to allow this page to kind of rise up and almost lead this queen. What we need to remember too, what I am going to say about this, is that this queen here, to me, this Queen of Cups has all of that knowledge within her, meaning you do too, Mary, right? That Scorpio sort of psychic sense about you, that emotional like intelligence that you have, is a really good guidance for you and won't lead you astray, even if you let the page lead a little bit towards your desires. Does that make sense? Try not to let the mishaps of the past kind of spook you or keep you from, maybe having that conversation with your desires or with the newness of this page, right? This being turned upside down does speak to the idea that these are old and they're memories, right? And they did affect you, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't, upsetting at the time that you went through them. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go through them, because I kind of feel like these 5 cups, right? These experiences that you've gone through in the past have also helped to educate and ready this queen to become the queen that she is, right? So, in essence, we've kind of gone through some hardships, but from those hardships, they've sort of gotten us to this point where we do have this beautiful Queen of Cups as our lead coin in this reading. Does that make sense to you, Mary? I hope that makes sense to you. You're like, I just wanted to know if I was going to get a boyfriend. We're like, what is he talking about? Who is she? Hey, Lisa Vanderham, how are you? Oh, good. It's spot on. Thank you, Mary. Happy birthday, dear. I'm working so hard on being confident and getting my dues paid. Here's the thing, Mary. I think you should be confident, and I think that the page, when you're not feeling confident, if you take that feeling of maybe not feeling quite so confident and use it as a position of excitement to learn and grow, the Queen of Cups energy will carry you through the situation. Like, it says to me that you have sort of the emotional intelligence, the skill, the nurturing, all of that stuff to lead yourself through just about anything. Even if it's stuff that you're not familiar with or you haven't done yet. And that's sort of the excitement of that page of wands. I think that these are kind of a really cool combination. Once they, come together and start really working together, I think that you'll find that quite wonderful things can happen. Hey Lisa, how are you, dear? And tonight is Charm Night, so if Lisa, I know you're a Patreon subscriber, so if you want to get your charming tonight, you certainly can. You don't have to. It's up to you. I'm just on because it's Sunday, and I promise that I get on Sundays for you guys. So I hope that makes sense, Mary. Ba-boom. Ba-boom. Oh, Laura, thank you. I just saw a charm reading. A charm reading for someone on your group right now. Laura, who do you want that to be for? Hey, Priscilla, how are you? You're not late, Priscilla. Hey, Jen Nichols, how are you? Come on in, ladies. Oh, did you buy two, Laura? Are you still here? Well, of course, Laura must be here. So, Laura, I just see that I have two receipts from you. It looks like one and then another. So, I'm assuming you bought one for yourself and then one for somebody else, but I'm not sure who the somebody else is. So, thank you again for doing that, Laura. It's really lovely of you. Um, Let me know if I can do yours first and what you would like me to do it on, and then who you would like to, um, who you're getting the other one. Oh, don't make me pick, Laura. Oh my God. That puts me in a kind of strange position. I can create a game around picking a winner for a charming. We can do that. I will do that. How does that sound? You're welcome, Mary Clunan. You have a wonderful birthday. Hey, Andrew. So what I'll do is I will let you guys know if you guys can guess what. Let's do the contest first. Let's get the contest out of the way first so that there's just no fighting. Hold on 1 second, I gotta switch cameras. Let's do the contest first so that there's no fighting, because don't make mommy pull this car over. And what I'll do is in my hand is today's grounding stone for tomorrow's daily forecast reading. You guys have to guess what color was this grounding stone. The first person who gives me the color of this grounding stone in my hand from tomorrow's reading, so it's not even posted. Oh, Jen Nichols, if you're on Patreon, you can't go look to win it. Now, you've probably seen the video because you're a Patreon subscriber. High New Moon in Cancer. It's not black, guys. It's not black tourmaline, no. Good guess, though, but no. Ah, Tegan Maria Cimadoro got it. It is green. It is green. It's the Namaste stone, which I thought was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that is for tomorrow's forecast. It showed up this morning. I thought, oh, how apropos. The God in me honors the God in you. That's the meaning of Namaste. So it is green. So Tegan got it. So Tegan, if you'll hold out and hang out with us for a minute, you're going to get a free charming thanks to Laura Martin. So if you want to thank Laura Martin, she's been really lovely and been buying herself and other people charmings. So Tegan got it, you guys. Hey Brittany Panton, how are you? Okay. All right, so let me do Laura Martin, tequila. Tequila. And Jen, if you want to get your charming tonight for the month of November, you can. It's up to you. Or if it's too early, if you want to wait, because we have we have tonight and then we have 3 more Sundays this month. So, all right, so let me do Laura's really quick. Let me get these coins off the board. And let me see here. Yes, pay it forward, exactly. Oh, and for you, those of you guys, like the people that I'm calling out, like New Moon in Cancer, Jennifer Nichols, those are people that are viewing over on YouTube, just so you know. Okay, that's cool, Jen. All right, so let's do, did you have a subject that you wanted, Laura? Or do you just want a general, what did you want for yourself, my dear? You let me know. I hope that was okay that I do it that way, Laura. I just kind of took it and ran with it, so I contested it. Because I hate to just pick somebody out of the crowd, because then everybody gets kind of, they feel sort of hurt, or I don't know. Let me see here. I will do, and Priscilla, you asked for, I don't even know if I can do that. Wait, let me see here. Oh, I think I lost it. I think somewhere, let me go to the business page. I can put in my, whatchamacallit. No, that's not what I want. I need post. I don't know how Facebook works anymore. It's so awful. I'm like really bad at this. See all posts. Here we go. Comment. Ba-boom. Paste. Why is that not pasting? Oh my gosh. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find the link and get it pasted for anybody that wants to purchase a charming, but I am not doing this very well. This is like the equivalent of dead air on the radio, I know, but you guys will just have to love me nonetheless. Love me or leave me. All right, so that should, okay, there's the link if anybody needs it. It's all right, Andrew. I got it. Thank you. So there's my link tree. In that link that I just posted in there under Angle Guys Clairvoyant Healer Psychic Reader is all of my links for the YouTube channel, the Facebook group, all of that stuff. So if you guys want to find me on all of those places, you can do that and follow them for anybody that's new here. General, did you want health or general? You're hurt, Steven? Why'd you fall? All right, so let's get to Laura. Oh, you mentioned Sharon. Were you trying to give it to Sharon, Laura? Oh shit. Let me just see. Let me just do yours, and then I'll do Tegan's, and then I'll do one for Sharon, and we'll just that way everybody's happy. This is why when we give them away, it gets kind of, unless we have somebody pre-picked, it gets people. It gets, you know. But that's fine. I can do one for Sharon too. All right. So let me. Are we doing health or Laura? Are we doing health or are we doing general for you? That's the only thing I need to be clear on before I start. That's what I want to know from you. One for me, one for Sharon, and one for Tegan. We'll send you 29 bucks for Tegan. It's okay. I can do Tegan's for free. I don't mind. Whichever you want to do, Laura. You did make that decision, but I don't mind doing one for Sharon. I just didn't see you mention Sharon. Because I wasn't paying attention to the chat. just want to know if you wanted general or health, dear. That's my thing. So that I make sure that I'm working on a subject that matters to you. General. Okay. So I'm going to start your reading right now, and then we'll get into the other two ladies. So just be patient, Tegan and Sharon. Okay. All right. So for Laura, the Jenny or the she is, what does she need to know? Okay, so let's look at this. Boom, boom, chicka, boom, boom. So let's first pull the letters. We have a V, or an A, sorry. We have a Y, and we have an E. Aye. It's a total of a number 5. Numerically, we have 1, 4, and 1. Oh, no, sorry, that's a 6. I can't even add. All right, let me look at this really quick. So we're looking at things generally. Okay, what I am going to say first off the bat, the minute I look at this, is the 4 tarot coins are all face down. And I feel like they're up to no good. And I don't mean no good like it's a bad reading, but I feel like this is what's going on in the background that we don't know about. That's totally what I'm hearing as I'm looking at this. Now, one thing I do like, you have the cocktail here, and you have the two dolphins ring, right? To me, this is about fun, Laura. And then we have the Aries charm here, which is upright. And Aries is, if I don't know if you are an Aries or if there's any strong affiliation with any Aries in your life, but Aries energy can also be very dynamic, very fiery, very impulsive, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that sort of in like, I see it, I take it, I want it kind of thing, right? Aries are dynamic, fiery people. And to me, this coupled with the cocktail glass and the fun of the dolphin ring to me is sort of like this idea of celebrating, having a good time, enjoying ourselves right now. Like that might be a focus for you right now, if that makes sense. And so uh, you have the cat, but he's face down and sort of upside down in the center. And the cat usually represents like domesticated, like home stuff to me. And so when he's kind of like this, I wonder if there might be some things that you might be neglecting in an effort to enjoy yourself at this time. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just kind of the vibe that I get from that cat. It's like things at home we might be putting on hold or on a back burner at this time. It feels conscious to me, like we mean to do it. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's almost funny too, because when I look at this, this could be like a yay. Like yay, even though they're missing an H or a yeah. Like, and that seems to be like the fun that's being had here. I don't know if I think that you are having fun versus needing to have fun. The other thing that you have underneath here is this the peso coin or this is the dirty coin, I think. What sign is this? I'm trying to see. This is connect with January 20th through February 13th. I think this is Capricorn. It says humanitarian, and it's a couple. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's a couple having sex on it. It's a porno theater coin from years ago that I had that I found in San Francisco. But I believe this is, or is this Aquarius? This is Aquarian energy, actually. So this is Aquarius, not Capricorn. So this is underneath these dolphins, right? So to me, and these guys are more sort of in the future. So right now, there might be an opportunity or a desire to want to be more social, more driven, more out in the world. That could also be this Aries energy here. Maybe we're a little bit sick of home. Maybe we've been home too much. That's why this cat's flipped over. We maybe want to get out, be social again, have some sort of like, almost like a rebirth in a way, like really feeling that energy. So let me look at this here because I want to see what this says. Your dreams are attainable. And then I'm going to sort of flip all of these tarot coins. This is said a prayer for your pocket. This is also a hug token on one side or a prayer coin. So I kind of feel like this is you in the past being very maybe a little bit lonely, isolated, on your own, maybe feeling. And this is us in the now where we're kind of ready to be free of the home, moving forward, wanting to have fun, be social again, that sort of a thing. So let's look at what this is underneath here. So we've got the Seven of Wands, right? That's 5, 6, 7. We've got the Ten of Pentacles upside down. We've got the Tower, but it's sideways, so that's not, I'm not too worried about that. And the Ace of Swords. Hmm. I'm going to ask you this. When I look at all of this stuff, it's sort of, sometimes the Seven of Wands can be kind of like a little bit of a dicey situation. It can be like a little bit constrictive and not the best situation. It can kind of be our guard up, that sort of a thing. I almost want to say that there might be something that's going on with a relationship currently that it maybe feels on again, off again. And part of the reason is this Seven of Wands to me in the middle sort of has that vibe. We've also got the Tower coming up, but it's sideways, so it doesn't feel like it's a full-on Tower moment. It feels like maybe there's some mishaps on the way or some misgivings. We have the clarity of the Ace of Swords here in the future too. I do see like this bonding and this fun that's happening, but to me, this doesn't feel necessarily substantial or real or grounded. Um, you also have the sun in the future, but it is upside down and it's face down, which to me it feels like it's not really allowed to shine just yet. And so that's where I'm starting to think like, are we? It's almost like when I look at this, Laura, I almost feel like we're possibly dating somebody that is, we know it's not gonna go where we want it to go. If that makes any sense. Does that make any sense to you? Um, Laura, in the sense that like right now it may be fun and social and good and the even like going forward like in the future the connection might feel really enlightening, like because Aquarian energy can be very social, very intellectual, very expansive and exciting, right? And that's this Aquarian coin too with the joy of these dolphins. To me it feels like it has its up moments, it has its upbeat stuff, but like maybe it lacks commitment or it lacks stability. Also, the fire of the Seven of Wands, too, the fire and the passion of that speaks to that idea of it being like, maybe hot in the moment and exciting, but sevens always represent sort of conscious choices that we need to make. Sometimes we need to depart from situations. I'm not saying that that's what this seven is, but what I'm saying is that underneath the surface, even though the attraction may be strong or the excitement may be good or it might be like feeling invigorating, there might be something that you kind of know already that it may not turn out exactly the way you want it to. And I don't think that that's a bad thing because I like the clarity of this Ace of Swords being upright down here. To me, this says like new information, new awareness, new intelligence. You're going to know what you need to do when you need to do it, and that will be fine. And this Tower moment, even though it's sort of sideways, it's not like the worst thing, but it's maybe not the best thing either. Oh, you're in Oklahoma, Mary. How are you? Hey, Karen Stringer, how are you, dear? Okay, Priscilla, I will check. Thank you. Oh, awesome, Karen. Thank you. I see your payment, Priscilla and Karen. So I got to do Tegan and then Sharon, and then I'll do Priscilla and then Karen. Okay, you guys? So I kind of feel like, and that's also why this dreams are unattainable was sort of flipped over to me. It almost feels like you kind of know that whatever you're doing, if this is with another person and it is sort of a romantic kind of connection thing, that it almost feels like you're aware that it might be only temporary and you're very much living in the moment and enjoying it now. for what it is. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that's actually kind of a good thing in some way regards. This Ten of Pentacles in the past to me speaks to, and it's upside down, speaks to the idea that you might have been involved in something that was extremely, you know, maybe abundant at one point in time, and I'm talking about a relationship, right, that was really grounded, and then it upended or kind of fell apart. And so I kind of feel like this is what you had and that didn't work out, so you're not really having a whole lot of expectation on what you might be enjoying right now. You're just enjoying it for what it is, right? um, there is a possibility, I will say this, there is a possibility that it could turn into something nice, but I don't think we're fully there yet, right? Like, I don't think that you necessarily are 100% sure that's what you want. I hope this makes sense to you, Laura. I don't know if this is connecting with you at all, but I'm like totally going. And the reason why I say that is the sun is here and it's flipped over. To me, it feels like this sun is like like further in the future. So like the sun and its energy is usually very affirmative, very like generous, like the sign of Leo, all of that sort of stuff. So if we get to the future, I mean, this is a sunflower, but I use it as symbolic as the sun. If we get to the future and this sun shines on us later, there could be something that could work out. But I feel like it's just not really clear yet. Maybe we're not clear on whether or not we truly are sure this is going to pan out to something long term. Nor do we. I get a feeling where, as I look at these coins and stuff, do we want it? Are we like? I don't feel like you're stressed about it. Does that make sense? You're kind of just enjoying it for what it is, and then like if it turns into something, yeah, maybe, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. That's kind of my feeling here. And it's funny because it feels like this is about you and your decision, maybe not so much about, you know, him. It's like sometimes when I read people, it's always about like people sort of chasing after the other one, and this doesn't feel like you're chasing them. You're like, no, I'm good, I'm just going to enjoy it as it comes, and I'm having a really good time. Does that, I hope that makes sense. She says very true. So, but is there possibility for this? You know, I certainly think right now. Oh, good. I'm glad. Okay, Laura says it makes sense. Yes. Beautiful, Laura. So I think that it's, to me, it feels like a very affirmative or positive reading, even in the midst of some sort of difficulties. But we're not necessarily worried about those things. We're not letting them get to us, bother us, bring us down, if that makes sense. And I think that's the best way to be in everything. Like if you have the freedom to do that within a relationship or within a romantic bond that is exciting and fun and not get all sort of upset or emotional about it, I think that that's wonderful. And also, I will have to say this too, this Ace of Swords also speaks to the idea of not getting emotional, like even leading into the future. It's like remaining very clear and clean in your thoughts and your feelings about like what's going on here. Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm burping a little bit, guys. Okay, so I hope that gives you some insight, Laura. I'm gonna clear the board unless you need to take a screenshot of this. Tegan, you can. Yes, just one moment, dear. Just give me one moment. Awesome, thank you, Laura. All right, so I'm gonna clear this, and we're gonna do Tegan's, then Sharon's, then Priscilla, then Karen. All right, I'm gonna try and move quickly, guys, just because I hate making people wait. I mean, I'll give you each, you know, your time for sure. All right, so let's get into Tegan's love. All right, Tegan Maria, oh, Tegan, girl. Protection. I'm just saying. Make sure you use protection. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's look here. Let's see what we have. Oh, okay. We've got a G, a C, and an S. We always pull the letters first. So it's a total numerologically um, 2, 3, and 6. Again, the same number 6. Oh, that was the other thing I didn't say in Laura's reading is the number 6 represents kind of balance. So just thinking of that, it's the balance that happens between the change of 5, the change energy that 5 represents, and then the choice energy that needs to be made in a 7, right? Sorry, it's kind of out of focus. Is that going back into focus? Sorry guys, let me fix the camera. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's see what we've got going on here. So we've got a love reading. The first thing that I see, is that 10 back out? That 10 came right back out. Interesting. That 10 of Pentacles is back out almost in the same place as Laura's reading, which is really weird. To me, again, I'm going to say this is the same exact thing as Laura's. This feels like this was once something in the past that was more stable that didn't quite work out or got turned upside down and changed. You may have left that for somebody else is my feeling, because we have the Two of Wands here. And the Two of Wands can be a very sort of like soulmatey, spirit-guided um, uh, representation of love at a deeper level, if that makes sense, Tegan. So I'm not sure if you're with somebody right now that might be kind of a soulmate situation, or somebody that you feel really intensely for. And I have a feeling, I mean, you can just say yes or no, don't tell me anything too specific, but I have a feeling you might have left somebody for somebody else. When I look at this 10 sitting over this 2, it feels like they're kind of interconnected in that way. You may have given up something that was stable and right for something that felt more connected and uh, unknown in a weird way. Not in a weird way, in a bad way. What I mean is, it's not like your natural nature is sort of the feeling. It's like people might have said, well, what are you doing? You're leaving the 10 of Pentacles. What are you doing? And you're like, yeah, but this feels right. So let's go down here though, and this is part of the reason why there's definitely a spirit connection happening in whatever this is with this person. And I kind of get the feeling that this person may not be somebody that you're fully deeply in with yet. Like, you both know it kind of feeling, but maybe it's in its beginning stages, because these two both represent to me very heavy spirit symbols. This is what I call the big listen, the conch shell. This is like messages from spirit or our own intuition kind of telling us, hey, psst, like, pay attention, listen up. So you've got that, and then you've got the dragonfly, which is also very much a spiritual symbol of dragonflies represent spirit. And so there is this sort of spiritual connection, maybe higher, what's the word? Like higher, not dialogue, but this big listen to me speaks to this idea of you're listening to something a little bit more internal or spiritual about yourself. Maybe it's the voice of your heart, the voice of your spirit, the voice of your guides, but it's something that you don't necessarily, maybe haven't always followed. It's something new to me is what it feels like. That's also this dragonfly. I want to see what this is. Let's see what this is. So this is the Knight of Swords. I feel like this is him. I don't know if he's an air sign. Swords represents the element of air, but I will say this. He's kind of flipped over, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. The reason why I feel like he's flipped over is he's kind of in the background. Like, I'm not sure if he's maybe away from you or further away, like there might be a little bit of a distance between you guys or something, like maybe he doesn't live nearby. That's why it's flipped over. I like that his sword, to me it feels like his head and his sword is pointed towards the future. Like, to me it feels like he's in this. Knights, I will say this, they tend to be very noble, in servitude, that kind of a vibe. They want to do the right thing, be honest, be noble, that sort of a thing. Swords is about, in my opinion, it's about the intellect and being more brainy or thinking things through. So I'm not going to say this guy is the most romantic of dudes, but he will do the right thing in the right time, in the right way, is kind of the feeling that I get with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords can come on a little hot and heavy at first, right? Swords being in the air element, the energy can move a little bit quickly, but I feel like he's tempering that. He is looking to the future, though. When I flip the coin over, he is facing the future, which says to me that whether he's admitting it to you or not, let's just say this, Tegan, I think that he could be thinking about you, or they could be thinking about you in a romantic way and trying to figure out how to best sort that out and make that happen, right? And so you're listening to your spirit and your guides and your sort of otherworldly, sort of deeper intuitive information. And he very well might be too, but he's doing it maybe in a little bit more detached, intellectual sort of way. I want to see what this is. This is peace. It is flipped over, so I feel like it's not that you're not receiving peace. What I feel like this means is it's like until we can kind of really bond this or cement this, then we will be at peace, right? That's kind of like the vibe or the message that I'm getting from that peace symbol being flipped over. It's like as we work this out, as we bring this together, as we smooth out the edges and clear away the path and come together, then this peace will settle in. And we know that it's there. We can feel it. That's the dragonfly and the conch shell, right? So we know that there's something there. That's the Two of Wands, like you are each a wand. And then I'm going to just say this, and I know this is kind of silly and a little bit blunt, but this baby to me speaks to the future and the possibility for something maybe, if it's not, okay, hold on. I don't like to predict pregnancies because I am not a doctor. Okay, I wear glasses, I might look like I play one on TV, but I am not a doctor. So, I will say this. From a very literal standpoint, it could mean maybe there's a baby, right? But from a more broader spectrum read, a baby can also represent new beginnings, rebirth, a new relationship being born, you know, as if it's a baby, because when relationships are new, we want to take care of them with not, you know, with care, like you would a baby, right? You need to nurture them and give them time and attention and all of that stuff. So in a more, you know, less literal sense, because I don't want you to be like, oh shit, I'm gonna get pregnant, right? But I would, you know, not close off that idea either. That could happen between the two of you. Or it could be, let me go back to the screen, sorry. You don't want to look at me. It could be just the newness of you guys coming together in the future and starting a new chapter together. And that could be the baby. Again, I like that the baby's head is towards the future, similar to the knight. So I think, is there stuff that needs to be sorted out? I think so on the knight's part. I kind of think that you're in it, like you know you want it. That's kind of the vibe that I get from these cards. You're even willing to like separate yourself from what was stable and safe to move towards what it is you want. And it is that sort of that peace and that new beginning that we see here with this baby. If you get pregnant, my dear Tegan, I need to know. You need to come back and tell me. Just because when the baby comes out, I will say this. The baby came out for another friend of mine's reading. We had two babies and on the board, because I actually have two of these little Mardi Gras babies in the charm box. And for some reason in her reading, she got two babies. And I was like, I don't think you're going to get pregnant, because she's, my friend is a bit older. She can't really have babies at this point. But I said, I don't know. It's like new something, new this, new that. And then she used to always call her business her baby. And she got her baby back. Her business that she had sold ended up coming back to her through a situation. And so she was like, you know, remember that reading you gave me that had the two babies? She's like, I totally got my baby back. I was like, oh my God. So I couldn't quite understand it at the time, but I mean, this could represent, like I said, either an actual baby or maybe just the birth of something really new and exciting and something to love. So it's always a blessing when the baby shows up on the board. And Tegan says, the more you say, the more it connects. You're straight on the mark here. Wow, I understand what you mean. I'll let you know straight away. Okay, dear. Awesome, Tegan. By the way, I don't know if you know of the band Tegan and Sarah. I absolutely love that band, and you have their name. So if you don't know about them, maybe check them out. I don't know if you like kind of indie girl rock, but they are an awesome set of, I believe they're sisters. They're from Canada, and I love their music. So Tegan's not, I mean, it's a name, like it's not a very common name, so I don't know if you know about them. All right, so let me do, thank you, Laura. I just got your payment for Sharon. The next person is Sharon, actually, speak of the devil. So Sharon, are you here with me? Oh, you do love them. Awesome, cool. I love them too. I think they're great. So, is Sharon here still? I mean, she must be. I just need to know. Oh, sometimes people screenshot uh, the picture of the screen so that they can look at it. If you want to do that, Tegan. If not, I'm just gonna clear the board. Hey, Sharon. Awesome. Do you want me to focus on a specific subject, or do you just want a general, Sharon? And again, to Laura, thank you so much for buying 3 readings. That's amazing. I can certainly use the business, and I really appreciate you supporting the new people to me because it lets them see my work. Did you want general, Sharon, or a specific subject here? And please feel free to go. For those of you that are new to me that don't know me, you can certainly go. I do a daily forecast on my YouTube channel with tarot cards for everybody, for the greater collective. Please go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I feel like such, I don't know. I want my YouTube channel to grow, but it's like I feel so awkward like hyping it. General, okay. I'm gonna clear the board now, Tegan. Thank you, Priscilla, for putting up the link, dear. All right, so let's see. What does Sharon need to know? Okay, damn. All right, so let's see. There was a lot of clang, clang, chicka, dang in there. So we've got a L, we've got a G, we've got an S, we've got a Y. So we've got 1, 2, which is 3, 4, and then 4 more is an 8. And eights to me are also kind of about the energy of bringing things into balance. Let me see here. I'm going to say this right out of the gate. I feel like this is a guardian angel charm, right? This is, let me just show it to you. It's the Archangel Gabriel. I bought this in New Jersey, but it is flipped over and it was hooked into the Black Panther's uh, uh, feet like that. And I'm honestly going to say this, Sharon. I feel like there's a part of you that currently, right now, very much in your present moment is sort of done. Like, this to me gives me this vibe of no, like the door is shut. And I mean in the sense that, like, maybe for self-preservation, maybe there's been some situations you've dealt with recently or in the past that you've just kind of had to draw the line. This to me feels very much like a boundary, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean this is like in self-preservation, like, no, I'm not like I totally get this feeling that this is like, sorry, the shop is closed, sort of, so to speak. Okay. I don't necessarily know that you want it that way. I kind of get a feeling that maybe there's been some hard experiences that you've gone through that have required you to maybe be a little bit guarded or shut off, in a sense. But this being a guardian angel, shield, to me, it feels like you are doing it for your own protection. The other reason why I feel that too is that this is the Black Panther, and that's very much a shamanic medicine, uh, you know, uh, power symbol. And it being sort of flipped over, this feels like it's like you're holding your medicine or your magic for yourself right now. You're not necessarily sharing it with others or giving it to anybody. And I think that I kind of get a feeling that that's okay, like that this is what's needed right now in the moment. Like you've maybe given of yourself too much at other times and people have taken.
Does that make sense? Where they've not repaid back, or they've not reciprocated in their in whatever it is that you've given them, or maybe you've given them more of, and I'm not talking just romantic relationships, I'm talking maybe in friendships or work relationships where you've given more of who you are than what you've received back from them. Does that make sense? So I feel like we're kind of in this place where we're sort of saying, not right now. That's one part of this reading. It's also sitting right next to the Ten of Wands, which the Ten of Wands is usually represented by a man dropping a very heavy burden, right? He's carrying a bundle of 10 wands on his back, and it's been a long journey. And the truth of the wands is that wands teach us lessons of the spirit, right? And so or they bring about the action that we need from the spirit to sort of make things happen. With the 10, it's always about completions of chapters or closings of chapters. So when I look at this being sort of guarded, I think that it is been, you've maybe been a little bit guarded out of a good requirement or a good purpose, maybe, like I said, self preservation or to renew yourself. Up in the higher mind, we have the Three of Pentacles, which is always about collaboration, coming together. Pentacles is the element of earth and money, financial gains, that sort of thing. But the three is always about kind of coming together with others to maybe produce material gains, maybe business ideas, things like that. So even though I get this sort of, guarded feeling here, I feel like you still like maybe have dreams or ideas of getting back out there again at some point, changing some of that, right? Setting yourself, it's not that you're not free, but I feel like there's what's the word I want to say, like I just feel like for your own security you've maybe kept people at bay. Okay, we have this spider down here, and he's flipped over onto his back. Spider always represents sort of writing to me, and because there's this Native American story about spider having created the alphabet through weaving its web. And so when I look at this is sort of down in the subconscious. And to me, it's like there might be an idea to write for you of some sort, but you haven't quite allowed yourself to do it. I don't know if you journal or if you have thought about journaling. I think that might help you too through some of the past experiences that you've dealt with. I feel like your past is kind of empty in the sense that whatever has bothered you, or if you've given too much to relationships and not been paid back, or been treated correctly, or whatever that is, you've left that sort of in the past and you've continued to move on. Learned to be strong within yourself, right? That's kind of also the key of all of this is you've been strong within yourself. You're getting ready. The five again is that change energy, right? And all of this is about this six, which is, or no, this eight, which is about bringing things back into balance for you. When I'm looking at this five die, this is about, fives are about change, right? Change oncoming. And the change here is about dropping this burden that we carry, Sharon. And so, and I'm not saying that it's a burden that didn't teach you something, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want, you're not doing, I don't want to, like, how do I want to say this? I feel like everything I'm seeing here serves a purpose and is for your good, if that makes sense. So I don't want to leave you with any sort of feeling that you're not doing something correctly. You are. You're about to release something very big coming up here. You're about to make this change and sort of drop this burden. And this burden could be anything. This could be maybe insecurities of how you are in the world, or it could be how you view yourself because of past experiences. And sometimes we adopt certain ideas about ourselves because we're treated in certain ways by others. And I think that you've learned somewhere that how others treat you hasn't worked for you. And so it's like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. That's what I get from these. And you know your strength, right? That's this jaguar too. It's like, we know we're saving it for ourselves at this point. And that in and of itself might be the change, right? And so that leads to us dropping this burden. I do think that this spider is important. I think that there could be an opportunity to write for you. And I think that if you give yourself the freedom to do that at some point, it could be very lucrative. I like that it's lined up also with this Three of Pentacles energy. So there might be a collaboration somewhere out there. I also like the orange energy of this orange dice here. and it says sure whatever. So there's an openness up there in the higher mind, like there's ideas percolating for you. You're just not, I don't necessarily get a feeling that you're fully ready to move forward just yet. But this 10 of Wands says when you do release this or let go of whatever it's sort of holding you back or stopping you, boom, she's on plan and ready to move. The other thing that about the completion of cycles or chapters, right, that we see in this 10 is also mirrored in this numbered die, which is a 9, right? You see that 9 there? Nines are about personal completions too. So there's stuff going on here that you're getting ready to sort of shed, leave behind, let go of. Um, and you certainly, my feeling is you certainly know how to rely on yourself. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from these charms here in the center. We've through like, you know, guarding ourselves or taking care of ourselves first, we've learned how to be our own sort of um, breadwinner, so to speak. So we have the Page of Cups here in the future too. This is about, you know, like I said earlier, pages are about room to grow, room to learn. There's usually a youthfulness or an enthusiasm to pages. That youthfulness can sometimes warrant, you know, mistakes being made or us making mistakes. It doesn't necessarily always have to be that. Pages can also be harbingers or messengers. They bring new messages, new ideas, new thoughts to ourselves. This being about the element of cups, which is the emotions. To me, this feels like we're letting go of something here with this 10 of Wands, and then we're able to move forward into something new in the emotional realm where we get to maybe feel things differently, view things differently. It may come from this sort of writing, this journaling, or this processing. It's funny, I don't know, Sharon, I don't want to say something too specific, but as I'm looking at all of this, I kind of feel like there could be a book in here of some sort. Like in the sense that I don't know what you've been through in your past, but I feel like if it is significant, not, wait, hold on, that's not the right way I want to say that. I feel like it could possibly have been significant and that it could have the opportunity to potentially help others. That's this collaboration. It also is this personal completion because we take sort of whatever it is that we've experienced personally and we write it out or we come to some sort of understanding as to, oh wow, I had to go through all of that so that I could get to this point, so that I could write this book, so that I could help others. If that makes any sense. I'm not saying I don't want to predict anything for you where I'm telling you, oh, go write a book and then you have to go write a book. But if it's ever crossed your mind, which I think that it has with this spider here, but you might have been in fear of it or not necessarily allowed it, there could definitely be something there for you, is my feeling. And this Page of Cups speaks to that too, because the page is all about learning through the emotions, right? So when we're writing about this stuff and maybe refeeling it or figuring out our emotions and how we've transformed those emotions, maybe either through the writing or through having lived the experience and what we've learned, and then processing it through the writing of it, we also sort of like, you know, and then we release that into the world or we allow others to see that or share that with others. We also teach them in a way, if that makes sense. Sorry, I wasn't looking at the you're going through it now. Yes, it does. Yes, I have. Yes, yes, yeah, I am. Awesome, Sharon. Okay. Oops, you've got Tegans to the T. Oh, thank you, Tony Jacob. Um, Awesome, Sharon. So I think that there's really good things about to happen for you if you are. I don't feel like you're struggling by any means. I feel like you might be slightly a little bit guarded in self-protection mode, but that's okay. But I think that there's sort of the key here for you, or where the focus should be for you, is about living in the possibility. That's all up here in these three charms. The strength that you have that I see here, and the opportunity to transform stuff that you've maybe experienced that you thought you had left into the past into something very positive for you. Thank you, Rachel, for the payment. You'll be after Karen Stringer. I'm going to do Priscilla, then Karen, then Rachel. So I hope that makes sense, Sharon. And please follow the business page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, do whatever you need to do to stay in touch so that we know how everything works out for you. If you become a world famous writer, I want to know about it. Because I feel like we flip this little guy over and he just goes and crawls right into the future. All right, I'm going to clear this board if that's okay. And then Priscilla, what do you want yours to be on? Or do you just want general? General. Okay, perfect, Priscilla. Thank you so much to everybody who bought Charmings, you guys. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so okay. So I'm gonna say this. The reason why I laughed out loud, Priscilla, is that uh we've got the rubber snake. Sorry, Tony. What did you say? Have you ever done this for someone whose fate isn't decided? I'm not sure what that means, Tony. Let me just do this reading for Priscilla right now. So I want to pay attention to the charms really quick. First, I'm gonna pull the letters. So I have N and I have a C. So that's a number 4. 4s to me are about stability. We have a number 1 and a number 3. This could be about North Carolina. This could be a bad attempt at trying to spell the word no. They just didn't get a C. They just didn't complete the O. But let's look at all of this really quick. So what I feel like here is I feel like there's a little bit of perturbed energy in the sense that we've got this rubber snake, which always represents kind of like joke things that are bothersome to us that aren't really a threat, but they're kind of annoying. And it's sitting right next to the mood ring. So to me, I feel like maybe things might be grating on your nerves a little bit recently. Maybe people are like bothering you a little bit. I also like that we have the Scorpio energy in here. We're in Scorpio season now. Scorpio is all about sex, death, and transformation. But to me, he's flipped over on his back. So it kind of feels like this might have been a hard retrograde for you, the retrograde that we just went through, or you might still feel like you're kind of retrograding in a weird way. Let me just look here. We have the family charm here. They feel fine and good for the most part. I just kind of feel like I'm not sure if there's some sort of a threat to the family. And the reason why I say that is the scorpion kind of looks like he's sort of trying to crawl over here to me. Sometimes the charms move as I'm looking at them, like they sort of feel like they're moving. And so I kind of feel like between the rubber snake and the Scorpio's position, their scorpion position, it kind of feels like we've maybe had to put out a few fires of recent, or we might be dealing with a few fires. Now, I don't necessarily feel like these annoyances, they may be just that, just kind of situations where we have to roll our eyes and be like, fuck, I don't want to deal with this. But it is surrounding the family or the family unit, and that to me feels important. Underneath here, we have the old metal key. Underneath here is the Abraham Hicks manifesting tree, right? This is a magnet. And so to me, this is like the tree of life, but it's also all about manifestation. And this is about underneath the family, which to me, I'm going to take this very literally. It's like manifestation is the key to maybe, everything being balanced, fair, right, and uh, okay with our family, like being a provider. And I see a provider over here in this Knight of Pentacles, okay? And this is in the future. So to me, I'm getting this sense as I'm looking at these that there is this moment where you are maybe trying to put 2 and 2 together, staying focused on the positive, trying to keep clarity. We have the clarity of the third eye charm here, but it is flipped over, right? We're trying to keep clear. It's like when I look at this, I feel like Priscilla knows all of the steps. She knows them by heart, right? But she's like annoyed because she can't get the steps to work right now. Because even though this manifestation, the key sits on the manifestation, to me, it feels like this key is weighing it down. In the sense that, like, and I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong at all, Priscilla. I just sort of feel like there is this outside influency thing where it feels to me like this snake and this scorpion are running around kind of getting under your skin, and it's throwing off your vibe. It's throwing off your clarity. You're not necessarily feeling like you're able to really manifest the way maybe you used to. And here's the one thing I will say about this too. We have had a fucking year, excuse my language, but all of us have dealt with the weirdest year of all, right? Of ever, forever, for anybody from the entire world. So that could be some of this energy too, right? It's trying to get back on the ball, feeling like we're back in the game. We've done everything we can to protect the family and take care of the family, and the family is, this unit here, or this focus on whatever this is that's dear to you. If you don't have, say, a husband and kids, if it's just, your closest friends or your actual parents or whatever, this is represents as the people that you're most drawn to and that you love the most. This is about staying connected to them and making them a priority, right? And you've done that well, even in the face of sort of adverse situations that are going on around you. But I feel like you're kind of maybe getting a little bit down on yourself or critical of yourself because you're not better at this, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting when I'm looking at these charms. And then it takes me to this idea of no, like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, Priscilla. Okay, so let's go down here. So down here, this is more the subconscious. I like both that are on green. Green represents sort of money. It also represents healing. But we have one flipped over and one kind of sideways, but this one is more in the future. This is your dreams are attainable, which I love that. And then we have dream here. So, Priscilla, I want to say this, dear. What is it that you want, girl? And why is it? I understand, like, I gotta see. Yes, I agree. I do know. Yes, I still feel that way. But it's great. Okay, perfect. So I'm on the right track with these charms because I want to make sure before I tell you this whole damn story that I'm seeing. But this is what I want to say. The Knight of Pentacles is a provider, girl. You can do this. He moves slow as fuck, though. That's the problem. And this is also some of this retrograded energy, too, because not only is the Knight of Pentacles, he moves in a slow plodding pace, right? But he is a true provider. He does the noble right thing. He does everything in the right way. It may take him some time. He has to dot his I's, cross his T's, do all of that. And I like that he's here, but him being upside down to me also adds to that sort of retrograded feel where we feel like we're maybe pushing against a wall that won't budge. The wall will budge at a point. It may not budge as much as we want it to, but you've just got to trust that you are doing the right thing and things will start to shift. And the reason why I say that is I love how strong these two dream charms are down here, both on green, and one it says that your dreams are attainable. The other is kind of like hidden, right? It's flipped over right now because we're maybe dealing with frustrations around outside situations that are annoying to us. But I feel like when we focus on those things that aren't working and then we get down or critical on ourselves because we aren't doing things as successfully as we expect of ourselves, that kind of also compounds it and makes it harder. What I want to say here is we have these beautiful charms on here. If we remove, like I'm just going to do a little charm magic here. If we remove the snake and we remove the Scorpio energy, because we are in Scorpio season, let's actually just put him here, because it is Scorpio season. We want to honor the season, right? We want to get in line with what's going on with us. So the fact that you have the Scorpion in Scorpio season is actually a very powerful and aligned kind of omen, let's say, right? But we need to ride with that sex, death, regeneration energy of Scorpio. So we take out the wonkiness of the rubber snake. And then we take this key and we take this off, and let's just put this underneath the family, right? Those that we care about. That ability to take root, to manifest, to know that everything is blessed, everything is growing, everything is beautiful. And I love this key because this key is strong and old, right? But it was feeling a little bit heavy underneath, on top. Feels like it was sort of choking that tree. But what we want to do is we want to take this key and place it underneath as like sort of the firm foundation and the affirmation that our ability to manifest is key, and we know how to do it at any point in time whenever we want to, even in Scorpio season with rubber snakes running around. And then we also want to see that we have this beautiful 6th chakra intuition charm here that is clear. Flip that over because that that aspect of yourself, your own intuition, all of that is there. It's available to you. It's just maybe been shut off because we've been dealing with rubber snakes, right? We've been like fighting with stuff or focusing on things that we can't control or that are gonna just are there to show us that we're actually need to shift back to what we know to be true. And then ultimately the mood ring is in the center of all of this, which to me this speaks to the idea of our mood is really key, especially when we're trying to make things happen. So making that your central focus, I feel like all of that starts to shift everything. This dream comes to life, right? This flips over down in the subconscious. Something new may come to you, some new idea, some new inspiration even, that could be that hidden, flipped over like that. But if not, whatever it is you are working towards, they do become attainable. And as you move towards the future, it becomes more and more possible. I think that this night then turns upright like that and kind of begins to move forward. Not I'm going to say not the fastest pace. We may not make the greatest of strides, but right now we're also dealing with a world that is sort of like wonky at best, right? Like we've got things like COVID and presidential transfers happening right now, and whack shit happening with, excuse my language, whack stuff happening with the planets. But all of this stuff serves a purpose, and we need to remember that. And that's why I don't want to remove the Scorpio from this, because I think that we can also channel that Scorpio energy and use it to our advantage. When we're in resistance to it, or we're trying to avoid it, like the rubber snakes, we're frustrated with it, we're using our effort to change it, something that, you know, we just need to sort of like step away from or just allow to be and know that this too shall pass. We start to open this all back up again, and then we have some really beautiful charms to work with here. Some really strong, beautiful, manifestational, dream-related charms that say that Priscilla can have this if she truly feels it and believes it. I was laughing because the snake was right next to the mood ring, and I was like, ooh, they're just on her last nerve. That's what I thought the minute I saw them land. I was like, oh my god. Something's maybe been on her nerve. So it made me laugh, just because it's like the way that sort of, when the charms land, I feel like sometimes that's the way where they land is sometimes messages from spirit in a way. And so when something that obvious, where it's like the rubber snake is right next to the mood ring, I'm like, ooh, they're getting her mood, and it's getting under her ability to stay, you know, she's getting frustrated. And the rubber snake could be people, or it could be situations, it could be planetary stuff, just annoyances of like being annoyed with, you know, how people are behaving on Facebook can be a rubber snake for any of us. You know, I get caught up in it all the time too. You're welcome, Priscilla, thank you. Well, and I love it that you said kind of feel a weight just lifted, because we rearranged the charms. That's really what I feel like, because the thing is if a charm is upside down or flipped over, the beautiful thing is that its energy is still present. The possibility of it is still available in there. That's the beauty of all of this. So when we go and we move them around like that and we look at them in a different light or a different fashion, we kind of actually shift it within our own energetic field. And I want you to think about the beauty of this manifestational power that you have within you and the clarity that you have within you and your mood and all of that. When you set that into a position that feels light and uplifted, boom, you can start to make those dreams happen. And that's really what is underneath all of this. They just are a little bit jumbled up because we're dealing with the outside world. And sometimes the outside world doesn't behave the way we want it to. That's just how that works. All right, so next person is Miss Karen Stringer, and then we've got Rachel. Genevieve, these are charmings, and we're doing them for $25 each. The link is in the, Priscilla just posted the link in the chat. I am going to wrap up here soon because my dogs are starting to stir because they need to eat, because they usually eat between 3 and 3:30, and it's just now 3:36, so their food clocks, even though he threw up in my bed, he's hungry. So I'm going to, if you want a reading, Genevieve, you would need to purchase it probably now because I have 2 more to go. So I'm going to clear this board, Priscilla. And Karen, are you still here, dear? Thank you for being patient. Thank you, Lisa. It's just Gus is starting to move around the desk now. He's gotten up, and I know he wants to eat because he threw up his breakfast in the bed this afternoon. It's really pretty. Like chunky monkey. It's gross. But whatever. It's my life. I still love him. I love you. I know. You gotta wait, babe. You gotta wait. It's only 3:30. You should wait until you should really be chowing it later. Just wait a little bit. We just have a few more to do, and then we're good. But thank you everybody for buying readings. Like this is like this and the Patreon are the only sources of income right now, so I really appreciate it. Is Karen still here? I hope she didn't leave. I know, it's like Gus is the worst when it comes like once the 3 o'clock hour hits, he'll come and sit on my chest and he's 65 pounds. He's like pawing at me right now. Like, look at this. Hold on, I'll turn the camera. Okay. I'm on a bar stool chair. Like, he's standing on his back hind legs with his 2 legs and his 2 paws up on me, trying to tell me he's ready to eat. Like, did you see the determination in the face? He's not playing. He is not playing. He is like, look here, this is not Jenny Craig. I did not sign up for Weight Watchers, bitch. Get me my dinner. You gotta wait just a little while longer. Is Karen Stringer here? He's like standing at the door looking over his shoulder at me like, are you gonna follow me? Karen, are you over on YouTube? Maybe I need to message her and see. You know, I know how he feels. Exactly, Andrew. Well, I'm the same way. It's not like I'm so, Let me see here. Is Karen... Let me message her on Facebook and see. Yeah, he's a little pissed, you can tell. He's like, I want my dinner. So Tony Jacob is saying basically, so whenever I have anything down for my future, it doesn't make sense. I tried to love a love spell for the initials for my soulmate, and that went all messy and didn't work. I've had others try, and it confuses them a little, and someone literally said my fate is undecided. I don't know, Tony. I mean, when I do my readings, I try and not tell anybody anything too specific in the sense that, I mean, if I see stuff that could be specific, I'll say it. But I always tell people, look, this is future stuff, so there's room for change. There's room for opportunities to change it. Nothing is ever set in stone. We have free will. I don't ever want anybody sort of living for what I say over what they want, right? So like in the case in point, like with that spider thing, I felt like there's a possibility for Sharon to maybe write a book, right? But I don't want to put that in Sharon's space telling her, oh girl, you've got to write a book, or like Sharon I want Sharon to want to find that out for herself, right? So if she's had those thoughts, I will definitely tell her, I see that for you, but I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't tell somebody that their fate is undecided. That seems a little bit extreme, but I think that when you think about fate being undecided, it is all up for grabs. It is all malleable. At any point in time, we can shift and change at the drop of a hat through free will and through choice. So, but I don't think fate being undecided is a bad thing, right? We can look at, I believe that you can sort of see what's coming down the pipe energetically, but I don't necessarily want anybody to think that that's locked in place. Yeah. Because I want everybody to have their will. Like, I'm not here to take away anybody's life experience from them. So I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. I need to message Karen and see if she's still on YouTube or not. I'm waiting for her to respond, guys. Because maybe YouTube's not able to get, the chat was acting weird yesterday too, so maybe
I'm not sure if the YouTube chat portion is not working. Let me type something into the chat and see. Is it going out to YouTube? It looks like it is. It's giving me the green check. Maybe she had to leave? Maybe she couldn't wait that long. Oh shit. All right, Rachel, if you're here, I know you're here, dear, so let's do yours. And then maybe if Karen comes in, she might be busy. Maybe she's on a call or something. Oh, she is on a call. She just messaged back. Okay, hold on. All right, Miss Rachel, are you ready? I know Rachel's here because she just said the dog was upset, but I don't see. Okay, here we go. She's ready. Okay, cool. All right, so do you have a subject? Peanut butter pumpkins. What are peanut butter pumpkins? I don't know what peanut butter pumpkins are, Andrew. Do you have a subject that you want me to focus on or just do general, Rachel? Okay, just general. All right, so let me do the charms really quick. Okay, so this is Rachel Destiny. Interesting. Rachel, you got the bulldog up here on the outside edge, up here on the top of the board, and I think it's funny because you were saying that my dog looked upset. My dog is a bulldog. So I'm going to just leave him out here because this is probably a reminder from the bulldogs that they all want to eat because the third one just came in. All right, so you've got an N, an S, an S, and a T. Oh, she's nasty. That's the way spirit spells nasty. It's a 1, 2, 3, and 4. So a number 4, again, that would be about balance, not balance, sorry, stability. Okay, so let's keep the idea of stability in here. Let's look at what we've got going on here. What is going on here, quite frankly? Hmm. All right, I'm going to say this. I feel like you got something in the works, girlfriend. My feeling is this. This prayer coin kind of feels like your now, right? And this fish sort of feels like your past. And I don't know why, but I feel like this Leo symbol, this lion that's tilted here like this, feels like an ex. Like, I feel like this is a boyfriend. I don't know if you had an ex that was a Leo, but I feel like he's kind of moving out of the picture. It doesn't necessarily have to be a Leo, but I sort of feel like this was somebody that was very maybe, and I'm not saying that Leos are controlling, but this being the king of the jungle, right? The lion, the representation of the lion. This might have been somebody that was a little bit more selfish, a little bit proud, a little bit like maybe pushy, didn't necessarily treat you in the best way. And that's sort of like this kind of bony fish, is that he left you kind of with maybe a dead situation or a situation that wasn't so great, if that makes sense. And you've recovered from that is the feeling that I get, because this prayer coin is about you kind of taking care of yourself, praying for something new, something different, something more suited to you, something different than whatever it was that you just went through.
right? And then, as you're sitting in this state of prayer or this state of grace, let's say, right, where you're being like listening to your heart, you're speaking with your, from your spirit to your spirit, be it your God or your angels or your guides or whatever, you're kind of like, I feel like you're building something out of nothing. That's also this bony fish, right? We're like creating something in the now. Now, the reason why I say that is because I've got this weird thing going on here with these charms, and I'll explain to you why. The lizard is always about the dreaming, and the lizard to me is about like if you can see it in the dream, if you can really visualize it, right, it can become the reality. And I like that he's laying right across all of these charms. Again, we have the Three of Pentacles, Pentacles being about money, material wealth, earthly sort of things. It's about collaboration. It's about putting together an idea, coming together, and making things happen monetarily, right? So I like that this also sits underneath the lizard, right? We also have the power of the sun here, a version of the sun that I have in this charm box. To me, the sun is an affirmative yes, right? And it's always like gives life and energy to things. So will we be coming out of a period of scarcity and moving into a place of abundance? More than likely. That's what I feel like with these three charms here. But we also have the moon here. This is a planetary dice, right? And it's got the power of the moon, right? And so the moon is the sun, which would be our brighter, more masculine, active, say maybe assertive side. The moon would be the more passive, quiet, feminine, subtle, intuitive side, right? So we have the strength and the balance of both moving forward with the power of this lizard, right? So to me, it's about like channeling not only our intuition, but also our sort of, our outward and our inward together in collaboration to make something happen. Now, I'm interested to see what these two coins are because they're like resting right on top of one another. So it's like they're sandwiched. So we have the Five of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Not the best of cards. I want to see their definition for Five of Wands really quick. It is conflict. That's what I thought. Okay, and then the Seven of Swords is not really good either. Hold on. They are sort of turning in on each other. So let me see. Let me just read their Seven of Swords really quick. Yeah, it's the liar, cheater, stealer. That's what I thought. All right, so these were kind of like this on top of one another, like facing each other, and they're kind of involved in this. So this is the thing. This looks like a sandwich in a way, like we can't fully see what's going on. And while we're trying to create something or make something happen for ourselves, make the dream happen, we do have this sort of, I'm just going to be honest, with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Wands kind of on top of one another, it feels like there's opportunities in the future for people not to be honest, situations to feel sort of competitive, situations where we might be dealing with people that aren't necessarily telling us the whole truth, kind of thing. Um, but I do like that this is face down, facing that five. Does that make sense? So it's not like the Seven of Swords is straight up facing us, meaning like we've got a liar in our midst. It means that we need to be aware that there could be issues going forward into the future. Will we be able to handle them? I think with this Three of Pentacles, the Sun and the Moon, yes. Will they be a pain in the ass? Probably. Could they be hidden or will we not see them? That's very possible too, because both of these charms these coins are resting on each other, so they're kind of like hiding each other. So I would say moving forward, because I really honestly feel like this is an opportunity for creation, something new, like either a new job, a new business, be careful of those that are around you that may not be being fully upfront with you. Watch the small details is what I would say with this. Do I think that these are a full out threat? Not necessarily, but they're kind of more subtle or hidden. So I don't want anybody to like move forward in their life in any sort of fear, and I'm not trying to create any fear because I don't think you need to be in fear because the sun and moon feel very strong. So does the lizard. So does the Three of Pentacles. These feel like you moving in the right direction, but these two cards speak to this idea that there could be stuff working around in the background. Uh, and this could be, and I'm just throwing this out there as an example, this could be friendly advice from, say, a family member that they're trying to help you or whatever, but their advice is like limiting you in some way, shape, or form, right? They don't necessarily know that they're harming you or creating fear within you or telling you something that might be true for them, but it may not be true for you. Does that make sense? So it may not be something so obvious. That's why we see this flipped over like this. But we don't want it to undermine us. We don't want it to put us into into fear mode or anything like that. I don't think that they will because I feel like this is an isolated situation. That's why the two coins are sandwiched on top of each other. But I do feel like we need to be aware of them, right? So that when they happen, we can go, oh, this is those two coins. I'm not dealing with it, or I'm not going to let that in. Right? That's also going to lead and keep you in this place of stability with this number 4 that we have in here, right? Which we want to keep as we move forward because I feel like you are in this place of stability right now where you might be self-reliant and in a position where you have come through a loss of some sort or feeling as though you don't have as much and you're wanting more and you're in the process of beginning to build your way towards that. As you begin to build your way towards that, don't allow other like yokels to get in the way is kind of the feeling that I get. I almost want to say that I get a feeling that you might be a little bit not too kind, but that you might be more trusting than you would want to be, if that makes sense. Like, I like that about you in the sense that I like that when I see that in this car, in these coins, and in these charms. But be mindful of that. If you have an innate ability to trust in others, don't. I mean, I'm not saying don't trust. That's the wrong way to put that. What I mean is just be mindful that not everybody deserves your trust. Because your trust is really a gift, I feel like. So guard it, if that makes sense. And I think that you are self-sufficient, especially with that sun and moon. There's a balance there. There's a strength there. And this collaboration, this Three of Pentacles, also speaks that you might, whatever you are doing for the future, whatever you are building, it will come into this place of this realm of collaboration through either co-workers or partners or whatever. And so you may have to let people into a certain level or degree, but be mindful of sort of who you let in or how they behave. Pay attention to the small details because not everything may be blatantly obvious until it's, I don't want to say too late, but you want to be mindful that not everybody's to be, fully trusted. I do think that there are good sources of collaboration here, right? But there might also be people that don't necessarily see it the same way you do or aren't necessarily as honest or upfront as you are, that kind of a thing. So keep that in mind. But I do think that there's an opportunity here to build something really beautiful. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Rachel.
I hope that helps. Whatever you are working on, keep with it. I like the purity of this prayer coin. I like the heart-centered nature that's there. There's also very much a pure space here. Like I feel like you're in a very um at a new beginning in a way. And so use that to your advantage. It feels very like there's a grace there or something. I don't know why I'm feeling the sense of like sort of grace or a purity that I really like. Hold on, babe. I know you want to eat. Just give me a minute. Oh god, the dog's licking my feet. That's disgusting. Stop! Don't do that, please. That's really creepy. Please don't. I'll just give me 1 minute. Oh, you're so horrible. Do you need to take a picture of this? Or can I clear the board? Okay, I'm gonna clear the board then. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I guess Genevieve decided not like the eggs at Easter. Oh, really? You're welcome. Thank you, Rachel. All right, you guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for buying Charmings. I greatly appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow. I gotta go, not tomorrow, I'll just, maybe later this week, I'll do sort of a impromptu event. I'm gonna go feed my very hungry bulldog, and I need to go switch the laundry out. All right, so I will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, and have a great day, and have a great night, you guys. All right? And if anybody's interested in a reading, you can always message me at the Facebook business page. I do private readings over the phone. I'm available for those too. All right, take care. Thank you, and please share the video out if you feel so inclined, or hit subscribe and do all that stuff. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Andrew. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.